Probably the most important skill you could learn to improve your relationship is that of listening.
What?
Here we go. Listening is hard. Listening is very difficult. And so we want to go through some things and have a short conversation about what makes for good listening and also what impairs good listening. And then we have a model of a tool to help you learn how to listen better. So listening is made up of, there's actually two parts to conversation. You've heard I'm sure you've heard this kind of discussion before, not just in this series. But you have talking and you have listening. And so what we're going to do is we're going to speak about a few ways to be a good, respectful talker. And then we're also going to give you some hints on how to listen and how not to be distracted in your listening. So the acronym that we want to give you to help you be a better listener is called R.A.V.E. The I is for intentional. Be intentional about clearing the distractions, not only out of your head, specifically in the conversation in your head, but also clear the distractions from around you. Pick a place where you can concentrate on what the other person is saying without interruption.
So the R is to repeat. In other words, the speaker is going to tell you something and the R is repeating back what you heard them say. This is not verbatim as in some of the other exercises, but it's your understanding of what they said.
The A stands for affirm. Now this gets kind of tricky for those of us that are very intentional in the way we have conversations laid out, and we're very attuned to other conversations that seem to threaten that territory that we've staked out, if you will. I am one of those people. And so this was difficult for me to put aside. To affirm what my wife or my children wanted to tell me was almost equated to my capitulation in any particular issue. So what I've come to find out is that when I affirm what they have gone through, that really is not threatening to me. What that does is it shows them that I care about them, and it shows that I can put myself in their shoes, if you will. So you can get to the point, I have gotten to the point, and you can bring yourself to the point where you can listen and affirm what the speaker is telling you without being threatened, without feeling that they are doing an end around to get you to change your position on a particular subject. That's not what this is about. This is solely about letting the person know that you heard what they said and that you got it. You not only heard the words, but you started to explore and to understand the feeling and emotions that were carrying the words.
V is for validate. It's validating the experience that the speaker is talking about. You know, very often we'll be in the same place at the same time and we'll have the same thing going around. But the way we experience that is quite different. And so if Porter is telling me about his experience, and that wasn't my experience, I have the opportunity to say, well, you shouldn't feel that way. I didn't feel that way. Well, you know, I didn't see it that way at all. Well, that totally invalidates him. But what I can do is validate his right to have experienced the situation the way he experienced it. And sometimes that can be a little difficult. We have we have quite a different viewpoint of roller coaster rides. Porter loves roller coaster rides. I ride them kind of slumped over with my eyes closed just like this so that I can, you know, move around with the roller coaster and not get sick. So I can appreciate his love of roller coasters, and I can just be there right with him and allow him that experience and encourage him in that experience. Does that mean that I agree with it? No, it doesn't, because I don't. But he's allowed to have those feelings about those experiences.
The E stands for empathy, and that means that you return your comments to the speaker with the same energy with which they were brought forward. So an example could be if I'm telling Joni about how neat this roller coaster ride was, she has the option of meeting that information two different ways. So I can say, it was great, it was fantastic, because you could feel the G's as you went around the turn.
Great.
What does that do to me as a speaker? Well, if she's not going to get into what I'm saying, it's going to make me a little more hesitant to share that with her. However, if she was to respond this way, and I said, it was really neat because you really feel the G's as you came around the corner.
That sounds like it was a wonderful experience for you.
Well, actually it was. And that's a little more inviting for further conversation than just the great. Communication is going to deepen your relationship. So we encourage you to take the R.A.V.E and use it. And then, you know what? We'd love to hear from you about how not only this tool, but any of the tools in this series has impacted you and your relationship. We'd love to hear from you.